One thing I'm wondering is a marker of, if you like, how people are doing, is whether you feel you've had any achievements since your diagnosis, you know, since you've had these setbacks. Sometimes doing something, even if it's something new, can give you a message that, you know, there's still positives I can get out of life. Have you found that you've been able to participate in anything that's been memorable for you?
Well, yes. We've had 2 holidays over the last few months, a year or so, one of which was a river trip up the Danube. Now, on these particular little boats, there's only 200 people, so you're in close proximity with these people all the time. This was the first trip abroad, the first time I've flown since the operation, which I was worried about. But we had to share tables with 3 other couples, so there was 8 of us on a table, and they happened to be Americans. And these Americans did notice my disfigurement, slight disfigurement to them, and they asked the questions, you know, what happened? Have you been in an accident? And I said, then I told them about the cancer story. And one of the other things that was quite remarkable about that trip was that we had the same waitress every day, and she was a wonderful person. But from the very first time I had a drink and I asked for a straw, so every time we went for our meals, be it breakfast, lunch or dinner, there was a straw placed with my cutlery. And I found that quite remarkable. There was a person who was recognising that I needed something extra, and only a straw, but it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And it also meant a lot to me that these people, these Americans, accepted me for what I was.
Yes.
Then we had another trip, and we went to America, and we went on the usual tour bit of, and we're meeting all sorts of people, and nobody even mentioned it. And that was another remarkable thing. So I got an inspiration from that in that I was putting too much emphasis on my disfigurement myself, and it wasn't really all that to bother about. I think that really helped me.
And during that trip, I think you told me that you were challenged to a game of golf where they wondered how you'd do or something?
Yeah, we had a game of golf. This is the second trip. We stayed with some friends as well, and we went out and we played, and I beat them. Now this was really inspirational, and so they said, "How do you do it?" And I said, "It's because I've got one eye. That's the only reason." And I also went, because you know the Americans are big in guns. We went to a shooting range, you know, rifles, pistols, and I outshot them as well. But I used to do a lot of shooting before. But I actually beat them at target shooting and everything, and they were quite amazed by it. And I said, "Well, you keep closing one eye, don't you?" And they said, "Well, yeah, that's right." So I said, "Well, I do as well." So, yeah, that helped me a lot, you know, that I could be accepted as a normal person, and that was important.
Yeah.